fact. In all fairness, I dropped my phone doing comedy, so it wasn't worth it.
It was for the.
It was for a Snapchat that didn't get sent.
Was that for was that for one of your Craigslist odd jobs where you're the court jester in somebody's house for the day?
Yo, how much can I pay you to do that?
Yeah. You're the royal jester.
All right, so, hey, do we have any big gamblers around this table?
Huge.
No? Yeah?
Well, Red Dead in real life.
I don't know. I think
Does smoking cigarettes every day and drinking and not going to the doctor count as gambling?
Gambling with your life. It's acceptable.
That's the ultimate.
Big gambler, then.
Okay, good. I think I like it in theory. I mean, at least when I win, anyway.
So you're a
I don't
sissy.
like it otherwise. All right. This is Hot Button, a podcast about all things interesting in the world of video games. And today we're going to dive into the seedy underbelly of loot box crimes.
Yeah.
Now, more specifically, the skin betting circulated by Valve's massively popular and highly competitive first-person shooter, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, also known as CSGO, to be hip with the kids. The kids that aren't playing
stands
for
for
called something.
Global Offensive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everyone always does. And you missed my Fortnite joke, so now it's gone forever.
Don't
Wait,
worry,
there was a
there'll be more.
Fortnite joke?
Yeah. I don't know. I mentioned something about being hip with the kids, but like I don't think hip kids are playing Counter-Strike.
Whoa, dude.
Kids are done Fortnite
Maybe.
now.
Don't you know
They're-
the CSGO starter pack? It's like a Supreme hat, a skateboard,
And like a thing of meth?
your dad's credit card, and like
and speed.
and speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about this game and how it led to some pretty major fixing by some top-notch a-holes just waiting to take advantage of players seeking to collect all their favorite in-game weapon prints. Bans, investigations, lawsuits, this story has it all, which is why we're going to need some help today. I'm Randall Beatrice, and I'm here with Austin Blakesley,
Yo.
Chris Antuano.
That's me.
And-
keeping the catchphrase going that I invented.
It's not gonna last. And for the first time ever, our special guest, fellow friend, and Valve crime aficionado, Chris Neuteboom.
Hello.
I know you wanted to use esports expert, but I already wrote this. But in the future, maybe.
No, now that you
We'll
said it out
revi-
loud,
we'll
I sound like
revisit.
such an asshole. Yeah.
Esports expert and crime aficionado.
No, I'm just somebody who has a love for anything competitive. So if there's a tournament or a competitive scene to it, I've probably watched.
You
a
want
YouTube
to
video
know
about it.
who's out there in the dark parts of it?
Yeah.
ruining it for everyone else.
If there's match fixing and cup stacking, I'm the person on the scene.
Very violent, that scene as well. So I just want to open this by saying thank you already, not just for joining us today, but also for the deep knowledge on the subject and the extensive research that you and Austin both did on this topic, because it's goddamn insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's like literally my head was spinning when we brought this up a couple weeks back, and not just because I was drunk. Like, it was like the things that you guys were telling me about the story was just like so out of hand so fast.
You got to dig deep in some legal briefings in order to find some of this shit out.
Yeah.
You know.
Can we do a topic where I don't have to read court filings? Like for once?
No.
Oh, that's the best.
Well, it was the other day. Austin made a joke about how many of our fucking episodes involve the government. It's like we got this great antagonist like figure looming over.
Well, I
every
talked about
corner.
how we had a running joke about bringing up Fortnite every time. We bring up government agencies more than we bring up
do Fortnite. Yeah,
Dude,
that is
government?
Most of
Fortnite?
the-
Is there something there?
Illuminati?
Illuminati. Most of the time, it's whenever you have shitty or weird video game companies, there's always government intervention some way or
Yeah,
another.
I guess that's true.
Most of the time, it's the long dick of the law coming in.
All right, so you guys ready? Why don't you both tell us a little bit about the history of everyone's most beloved game feature today?
All right.
The loot
So
box.
I'm going to start this off with a question
Okay.
to the audience.
Right on.
Our guest is not allowed to answer because he did the research with me, but for you two,
Okay.
what is your first memory of loot boxes? What's the first game you remember having loot
That's
boxes
a good
in?
question, actually. Overwatch was actually, and I know that's recent, but that's the first game I dove into it.
Yeah.
But as far as like I bought loot boxes in that game.
Does Rocket League count?
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, then Rocket League's probably the first one I've like spent like a legitimately large sum of money on
Okay.
keys to open up boxes.
Then maybe Payday 2, possibly?
No, Payday 2 didn't have loot boxes.
It didn't.
For
It
a while.
had those keys, though.
Yeah.
All right.
But damn it. Now I'm trying to think, though.
All right. Well, you ruminate on that.
I played Team Fortress 2
We'll get
as
started.
well when that... Yeah.
Yeah, Team Fortress 2 is one of the most important ones.
Right. It's probably an EA
None of
game.
you managed to bring up a game called ZT Online, which Chris informed me of way back in 2006. This is a Chinese free-to-play game, and it had the first loot boxes, but they weren't loot boxes at the time.
What did they call them?
Nothing. Some made-up word, but it was essentially a real money slot machine, where you just put a quarter into it, and then it would do the little dialing thing with the slot machine thing, and then it would pop out a power-up. And the game was notable for having, like, it was an RPG, so you had a power level, and the game went really far in power level, and if you didn't spend money, you couldn't get very far
Did this
with
game have any connection with that MMO RPG that was like Zoo Online or Zoo Online 2? Like, was this a crossover with that, or was that a...
I have no idea.
No.
I have no idea either.
Okay.
But what I can tell you about ZT Online was imagine a world where when you create your character, your free-to-play character, you start as a pleb. Right, and you have nothing on you
Me in
but
real life.
literally potato sack, like potato sack shorts and potato sack shirt, right? And it's an RPG. Remember, it's 2006, so imagine like, have you ever played Siege of Avalon?
No.
Diablo 1.
Yeah.
So like, think like
played that on the
worst Diablo
PlayStation.
1, like like Diablo 1-esque graphics because it's
Yeah.
it's a Chinese made game in 2006, and to fight a rat outside of your house, you would lose if you had the starting gear. Like to fight anything.
Gives a whole new definition
It's-
of the word grind.
Well, yeah. Well, on top of that, the levels went up to I believe it was 150, and it was so big in the scene that people who were the closest to level 150 were literal like gods in the game. In the sense that like they would have other players like be their like house slaves for them. Like they would go out and like do some farming for them and all this other stuff, and it was considered to be like an honor to be like a squire to like a level 150. I think they were called reborns.
Man, so they literally want like
Jeez.
class like based, like,
Yes.
like not class based in the
Yes.
sense of video game class, like
Yeah.
but status.
You're talking about
Economic
economic
class.
class.
economic class. You're talking
Yeah.
about directly appealing to Chinese culture,
Yeah.
where people who like live in the slums are like, I could be a god in a game, whereas I'm just going to be the Aladdin of Beijing.
Oh my
you know?
god.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to flash forward a little bit to 2010, where this trend really got going with gacha games. Gacha games are the digital version of
name.
Gachapon,
Right.
which is a Japanese, like basically a Japanese,
Are those the things in Shenmue?
the little pods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shenmue.
Yeah,
I just
where you
dropped a
get
sick
little
reference.
toys. You put in a thing, you get a random little toy. It's
Yeah,
the equivalent
yeah.
of like going to the movie theater,
McDonald's
putting a quarter
Happy
in,
Meal.
and getting a bouncy ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Or rub on tattoos, sour drops.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
that good stuff.
Condoms.
And there were a lot of these, but the most successful implementation is a game called Puzzle and Dragons, which I'm sure you guys have probably heard of.
Still going strong today. They had that
Yes.
crossover with Mario,
Yep.
the Mario Brothers or whatever.
But that was the first game to make $1 billion in revenue in 1 year.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
That's crazy considering and this is post Call of Duty, post World of Warcraft, GTA 4.
Billion
Yeah.
Jeez.
Billion.
in microtransactions.
Yes.
God.
So that was early 2010. Flash forward to near the end of 2010, September 2010. Team Fortress 2, which was a
Heyo.
game that came out in 2007, made by the lovely folks at Valve. Never done anything wrong.
Nope.
They decided to add loot boxes to the game. But because of the criticism that a lot of these earlier gacha games had, they didn't want you to just pay money and get a random item. You had to have crates drop. And then you had to pay for the keys. So you're not directly paying for the item, you're paying to open a free item.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a legal loophole
It's-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still see a lot of games on Steam 2 today, and it blows my mind that
Yeah.
that's like a thing.
it just obfuscates it like one level
Yeah.
higher, where you're
Yeah.
not paying for the
Yeah,
object.
exactly.
Now
You're
this
paying
is
for the
this
opportunity to
they
open
introduced
something.
that before trading.
So, trading was implemented within Team Fortress 2 a month later.
Jeez.
So, for the first month, you got loot boxes, you got items, and then they added in a trading system, but this was just within TF2.
Right. Can I ask if you could tell a story?
Is it the iPod one?
It is the iPod
Okay.
one, the earbuds one. I read
God.
I read this on the docket and I was like, Austin has to tell that story.
Okay.
This is brilliant.
Back in college, I had a Mac, not a PC.
Yeah.
I did most of my gaming.
Well, aren't you cool?
I did most of my gaming on consoles. I had a Mac because it had a Linux kernel so that I could do my programming homework easier. Anyway, but Valve made this big push to get all their games on
I remember
Mac OS X. And so Half-Life came out on Mac OS X, Team Fortress 2 came out,
Left 4 Dead.
Counter-Strike came out, Left 4 Dead.
Portal.
But with TF2, this was after that they added in these items. So I got a free item, which was Apple earbuds for your character. And all it was, the scout or the heavy or the spy just had white earbuds in his ears. And that was the whole item, but you could only get it by playing TF2 within the first month that it came out on Mac, and then they were gone forever.
They never made it available again.
And this was my first interaction with this whole trading system, because I was not even aware that this was really in the game until I literally got pushed out of playing TF2 because every time I hopped in a game, I had those earbuds on, and people would just message me nonstop.
And friend request you and stuff?
Yeah, Steam friend request me nonstop, just asking for these Apple earbuds. So much so that I took them off my character because I didn't want people to see I had them. And people still looked in my inventory
profile
and found that I had them and messaged me. And I was getting harassed on Steam for these things, to the point where this one chick messaged me and said she really wanted them and that she would buy me any game I wanted on Steam and trade for them, because I told her I don't play TF2 that often and I don't want TF2 items. So I can't remember what the game was. But
it was Shovel Knight, I think.
Yeah, it was Shovel Knight.
What a trade.
What a
She
great
bought me
ass
Shovel
game.
Knight, and I gave her the earbuds.
I remember you messaged her being like, "I'm done. It's your lucky day."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you got me on the right day, because I am done with this shit.
Oh, God.
Just buy me the next game I want, Shovel Knight.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
You made out like a bandit.
That's great.
I could have sold them, I think, for like a lot
more.
more
Shovel
money,
Knight was
but-
only like a $15 or $20 game. I was like, you could have been like, buy me the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Team Fortress 2 added loot boxes, random drops, and keys. Trading's implemented a month later.
All the good stuff.
Flash forward 1 year to September 2011. This is 1 year after Team Fortress 2 added the loot boxes, and 11 months after they added the trading. Valve added trading as a feature in Steam.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So that's rather than going through TF2, now you didn't even have to launch TF2 to trade. You
I
could
can't
just
even
trade
log into that
through
fucking
Steam.
app without it telling me about items to trade still.
Yeah.
How many stickers do you have?
Dude, I have no idea.
Not stickers, they're trading cards.
Trading cards.
trading
Yeah,
cards.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Absurd amounts, and I barely play PC games.
Yeah.
It's like I have new items because I booted up that Harmonix bullet hell shooter like 3 years ago, and they're just like, hey.
Raiden?
All right. For a while, there was trading that was implemented in a couple of games, TF2 still being the main one, but they did it through Steam, so that in the future, when games came out, they could have trading in those games too, and they wouldn't have to make it on a per-game basis.
Right.
2012, Japan outlawed Kompu Gacha, which is a one type of gacha game, which again was like a slot machine. So this is where you get the legal loophole of forcing people to buy currency so that they're not buying the thing with real money. They're buying it with currency.
Thus introducing money laundering into the world of video games.
Yeah.
and then you have to spend that fake currency on the chance to
Yeah.
win something, so that way you're not directly gambling.
And trading on
although
Steam
Yeah.
blew up fast. Like it's like every game company probably wanted a piece. After
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Well,
there's
$1 billion in microtransactions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's an important distinction
Sense
to
of
make,
achievement.
because August 21st, 2012, Counter-Strike Global Offensive was released. At the time, no items. It was just a
Right,
Counter-Strike
yeah.
game.
Yep.
Side anecdote here. Sorry, I
classic.
just got to say this. Do people remember when that game was going to be the first crossover title between PC, 360, and PS3? They almost beat Fortnite to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. No, I didn't know
that was like meant to be a thing, but
Which
because of
which one of the companies said "fuck you"?
That's a good question.
I think
know
it was Microsoft.
It might have been Microsoft at the time. They were they were on top. But they were talking about the
Portal
update thing.
Portal 2 had crossplay, but
It
it
did,
was only
between
between PS3 and
PS3.
PC.
That's true,
Yeah,
that's true.
Xbox wasn't about that at
Valve
that
was
time.
buddy with them.
Well, they were probably salty from Condition Zero being on Xbox One, which was probably the worst game.
you mean the original Xbox?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you have
Wow.
to controlling those menus, those joysticks.
This trading thing kind of blew up, and there was sort of like a mini economy around it, you know. items got values even though they didn't really have value. They were just game items, but rarer items were traded for multiple copies of less rare items, and a small economy formed. So Valve, being the lovely people that they are, decided, you know what? Let's get a cut of this. So then in December of 2012, Valve implemented the Steam Marketplace.
Yes.
And Steam Marketplace was literally like, hey, instead of figuring out how many fucking grenade launchers one sniper is worth, why don't you just put a monetary value on it and pay us 30%, and then we will let you just sell items to other people for real money.
And
what could go wrong?
And if you want to trade real money, that's totally fine. You just can't withdraw any from your Steam wallet. You must use it on Steam products and only in the Steam Marketplace. Yeah, redeemable cash value at 1/100.
They protect themselves real good.
Yeah. Okay, so Valve debuts the Steam Marketplace December 2012. And again, a lot of people selling and buying Steam items. I think I could have sold my earbuds on the Marketplace for more than I got for the Shovel Knight copy, but the Steam Marketplace just at the time seemed really shady to me.
Yeah.
So
Still is.
Yeah, as we will learn.
So Valve was having a lot of success with TF2, and they decided that more games needed to have these items in these loot boxes, and more games needed to have items that people wanted so that they could trade them and Valve could get a cut of it.
Especially highly competitive games that are selling real well.
Yeah. So, in August 13th, 2013, which is almost a full year after CSGO was released.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Not quite, but almost.
All wholesome fun until then.
Yeah. CSGO's ARMS update came out, which ARMS update added cosmetics, which were housed in cases that randomly dropped that you had to buy keys.
They saw those paintball gun skins, and they really wanted them. They were pretty sweet. I didn't even play CSGO that much, but I saw those.
So, did you know when they were originally developing skins, their one of their ideas was that they wanted to create guns that were actually camouflaged to help, like, you know, players like give
that
them
would
a
have actually
tactical
affected
advantage.
gameplay. Yeah.
But what ended up happening is they ended up making like neon yellow ones, and the
What if you got a pink
and the
tiger
players,
stripe?
and then the
Siege
players
does
actually
that
wanted
too,
those
yeah.
more. So they're
Yeah.
like, oh, forget like concrete
You guys want all
jungle
the
or
dumb,
forest.
you want all
one.
the dumb shit.
Yeah, we'll make
Yeah,
a
you
You
bright
never
pink.
pink guns.
Never got that. Like even in like Battlefield, there's all this crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yep. Call of
no.
Duty
I
does
was
it.
like, I want my gun to be the color of the map, so if I lay down, you can't see me.
I like the real like dark colored matte finishes in like Siege, but it's just like you can have like hearts all over your gun or like pot leaves, and then
Yeah. Okay, so here's where things are going to get a little confusing. There are going to be a lot of names to keep track of from now on this podcast, so keep that in mind. So that ARMS update, August 13th, 2013. August 14th, 2013.
Fucking
24 hours.
Less than
later.
24 hours
It's
later.
insane.
A website called CSGO Lounge was founded. The company was registered in Warsaw, Poland, and their admin lived in Costa Rica.
why the fuck does their Twitter say South Africa?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I looked up CSGO Lounge and I saw this on the outline, and then I was just like, and it was like located.
Dude,
in South
their
Africa.
bank account's probably on like an oil rig. You know, it's like a micronation in like, you know, the South Pacific. Yeah.
It was just funny because it was just like it jumped out at being shady instantaneously to me.
All right, so flash forward a year, December 14th, 2014, a website that will become important later, OP Skins, was registered.
Right.
I'm gonna rattle off a lot of names.
They do everything, right? They do PUBG and
Yes.
Dota and H1Z1 and all that
Yes,
stuff too.
they will become relevant a little bit later,
Right.
but actually probably towards the end of
Yeah.
the podcast. But okay, so flash forward again another half a year, April 11th, 2015, CSGO Lotto, a very important site as we will come to learn. This is probably the most important of the shady betting sites that we're going to discuss today. That domain was registered 4 days later, April 15th, 2015.
Yeah.
CSGO Shuffle was founded.
Just days later, again.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
So there's
Back to
also
back here.
we need to separate a clear distinction from this point as well with the names, with gambling versus betting.
Yes.
So right, yeah, you were telling me about this.
The difference being betting is placing money against the outcome of something like a match between two teams, whereas gambling is a game of chance.
Right.
So flipping a coin and doubling up would be gambling, but betting would be trying to bet the outcome between
yeah.
Na'Vi and Cloud9 match, or you know,
I do find it funny that a lot of these registered names have the CSGO name in it, other than OP skins. But like, I just thought that was funny. Like, I mean, I guess that if that's not technically the name of the game, and that's not they can.
Some other ones. One that will come up later that we actually could not find the registration date for is CSGO Diamonds, which I will get to in a minute. Okay. So we couldn't pin an exact date down for this, but sometime in August of 2015, CSGO skin betting became public knowledge.
Yeah.
Somebody on I think it was like a market blog or something like that, kind of wrote like a piece about it. And this had been going on, like we said, it's been going on underground for a while. I mean, the first site that did it was founded the day after the skins were launched. But
someone saw the potential real
somebody blew this up and said basically like, hey, these CSGO skins are basically like unregulated money, and people are using them for illegal gambling on esports matches. Like,
AKA the future reference to every single court case has some kind of reference to this report.
Yeah.
It's like the first legitimate researcher from like an institute that comes out and puts out a report. So it's like the first time where like all the people sitting in the ivory tower that you know, only drink imported beer and have missionary sex, they're like, my God, revenue.
And there were like, I was watching like videos and stuff back from this era. There were so many people getting into this right off the bat.
Yes.
Like, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean,
you have to be an idiot not to see the potential to make money off of it.
No, totally. But I just more meant like the people who are like following along.
Oh,
like,
like,
so I should say, I think I said gambling. This is when skin betting became public.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to this point, it was just betting on the outcome of esports matches mainly. This is when gambling started to pick up. Now, I'm going to keep going with this in a bit, but I want our guest, Chris. Great decision to make the first guest also named Chris, by the way. I keep going to say Chris.
Wait, me?
No, I want our guest to describe how the slot machine, the gambling part, works.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, you guys call me Chainsaw if you want to keep like.
I like that.
To keep the distinction.
So, have you guys heard of blockchain before?
Oh no! I'm leaving the earth. I'm leaving this podcast.
Yeah. So it basically these gambling websites use blockchain.
Right.
The best way to describe it is like, because it has an open ledger, it's easy to prove that the math works. Like the hash algorithm on the back end. But the best way I could describe it is, say, for instance, there's a pot of $100 worth of skins, and you put in $10 worth. You will be assigned a hash value equal to 10% of the total pie. So you have a 10% chance to win. If in the same scenario, if it's $100 and you put in 60, you have a 60% chance.
Oh man. Okay, so looking at casino games, these odds are actually
they're legit.
Theoretically, in
legit.
your favor. Yeah.
However,
but you're also putting $60 in for a 60% chance to win $100 versus putting $10 in for a 10% chance to win $100.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But the issue with it is that you can the math is correct. However, if you're a web admin on these websites, you could see the future outcomes because there is no such thing as like random, and you could run the test beforehand.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is display. It's kind of like saying, "Hey guys, I'm gonna flip a coin, and you like." Chainsaw's going to win 5 if it comes up heads, and Randy's going to win 5 if it comes up tails. Right. And then I put up a blind, flip the coin, and it comes up tails, and Randy wins the 5. But then I show you the math behind it, and you're like, okay, seems legit.
Yeah.
But what goes on behind the curtain?
Behind the curtain, you bet $100 on Randall.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as random numbers when it comes to computers.
Right.
Computers cannot pull
Tetris
numbers out of their asses. You have what's called a seed number.
Yep.
So you generate a seed number using one algorithm. You feed that seed number into another algorithm, and then that gives you your final result.
Now, can that also be manipulated?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So if you give something the same seed number, you will get the same result every time because the algorithm does not change between rolls.
Wow.
Think like randomly generated games.
Yeah.
I think a great example of that would be like Minecraft or RimWorld.
Right.
Where you can enter a manual seed and
Yes.
you could keep getting the same map over and over
So
again.
when you play,
I mean,
when you play Minecraft, you can put in a seed and you'll get the same world every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a lot of the way that those randomly generated games are built is that it does have to manipulate it so that that world can function every time.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're not going to doom a new player.
That comes with like logic testing.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And I think if you want to think of an even better example that includes logic testing, you should look up if you're into speed running video games.
Yeah,
you should
totally.
look at Link to the Past and Metroid Prime randomizers.
Okay.
They do a great job of that.
That Link to the Past one is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like the game still has to technically be beatable.
Yeah, and that's where the logic comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That stuff is crazy.
So, August 2015, CSGO betting is now public knowledge. Gambling is starting to pick up.
I wonder what that press release
Okay.
looked like.
It was just like, hey guys, they're taking in a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And by like 2020, it's going to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
So get in.
Yeah. Well, it was like get in and then make
Or
sure your
regulate this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure your kids don't have your credit cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the actual point of the article. It was
Right.
like, hey, maybe check your kids. Don't give them your credit cards.
I mean, they can have the defense that they're like, hey, it's an M-rated game.
Okay, so this is
Shouldn't
actually
be
not
playing
on our
anyway.
timeline, but this is probably important to bring up. The gambling part of this, the slot machine part of this that Chris just described, started to gain a lot of steam, and there were a lot of people that were sponsored by these sites. A lot of CSGO players were starting to get sponsored by these sites,
Right,
and they
yeah.
were starting to post videos, and somehow, miraculously, every video that these people posted where they were being sponsored by the sites, they won big.
I bet.
How to win $13,000 in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, things like that.
that's nefarious.
Um,
what would look more enticing on a
Yeah.
live stream, really?
Kids
Yeah.
watching these were like, "Oh shit! If I get my parents' credit card, I can make all this money." So that started to pick up and cause a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna flash forward almost a year to June 2016, and we are gonna see shit
Judgment
hit
Day.
the fan.
That's all it took was a year of this.
Oh
Judgment
man,
Day
shit
is
hits the fan
coming.
within the span of about a month and a half. Shit hits the fan. Government agencies are gonna get involved. All this shit. Okay, so we're gonna start in June 13th, 2016.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over the highlights, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Chris to discuss the lawsuits and government intervention.
Okay. This is gonna be cool.
June 13th, 2016.
excited.
CS:GO Diamonds, which I mentioned earlier.
Right, that was the site.
Admitted that they were sponsoring a CSGO player. How do you pronounce that, Chris? M0E?
It's Mo.
Just Mo.
Right?
Mo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were sponsoring a CSGO player named Mo. Now, they admitted that they were sponsoring him and that his videos of him winning were faked. The only reason that
Wait, really?
hold on. The only reason that they admitted it is because he fleeced them. He posted a bunch of screenshots of their conversations and said, "Pay me more money, or I'm going to show this shit to the internet."
Holy shit!
Yes.
Not
He
just more money.
blackmailed him.
No.
That's
Pay me the
fucking-
money that you promised me,
Oh yeah,
and some more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how much
he
money that
blackmailed
was?
them.
I believe. Oh my God! See, I don't want to quote it wrong, but I
Sure.
think it was in the range of just 5,000. So he got
Still.
sponsored for $5,000.
That's
What they
some- that's
did,
some cheddar.
what he showed was that they gave him house money because CS:GO Diamonds, their currency
Right.
were diamonds. So they gave him 10,000 house credit.
in the
Because when you're accepting,
okay,
if you pay
right.
$1 to one diamond, right? Well, they could just create more fucking diamonds. So they
Yeah.
gave him house money to play
not
with
Bitcoin.
on stream, and they didn't pay him. So he was trying to withdraw the diamonds, the house dollars, and they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, we couldn't cash
So
out.
he basically said, "You got 72 hours, or else
my
I'm going to show
God.
some shit to the internet that you guys don't want seen." They didn't do anything, and kudos to him. He posted it.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
then
A.
they admitted it.
Oh
yes.
man!
That
'Cause-
was
well,
it
they
at
never
that
would have
point.
otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they try and backpedal and like be
Nope.
like these were
I was
doctors?
also thinking about all the
Nope.
money they probably pulled it off of streams and YouTube and shit too.
Exactly,
Like that's just like
yeah.
side
As-
cash.
As,
Or-
as shitty as they're being, kudos to them. Those screenshots came out and they're like, "Yep, the
Yeah,
whole
they're
thing's
like
fake."
it's
yeah,
fixed,
we're like,
it's
we're not
rigged.
even gonna try to defend this.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so 10 days later, June 23rd,
Sounds like
2016.
it's lawsuit time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first of the lawsuits against Valve appeared.
Damn.
Now,
Going right for the big boys.
and I say first of the lawsuits against Valve because there was not just one lawsuit against Valve in this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I'll pass it over to Chris in a minute, and he'll go over all the lawsuits.
Okay.
July 4th, 2016 is very important because there are two very important people that I'm about to name.
Uncle Sam.
T. Martin
Yep.
and Syndicate. Now, these are their handles.
Pro Syndicate,
Yeah, Pro
I
Syndicate.
saw hackers.
These are their handles. Chris will reveal their real names in a little bit, probably, because there's a
Yep.
lot of court filings that show you their addresses and names and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some guy who's in the CSGO scene made a video and basically said, like, hey, you know, what's his name? Mo got exposed. They're all doing it.
Right.
And here's proof that T. Martin and Syndicate are doing it too. And the video didn't gain a whole bunch of traction outside of the CSGO scene. It wasn't until H3H3 made a video basically repeating the information in the video.
It's a way to get the word out.
And what was that? Hold on. Let's see if I have it. That guy's name.
For the original video,
Yeah.
Honor the Call.
Honor the Call. That was
Okay.
it. Yeah. So yeah, YouTube channel, CSGO channel, Honor the Call exposes these two for doing this. Gains a little bit of traction in the CSGO
That
scene.
video is hard to watch too
One of-
because you can just see
Yeah.
the cracks through.
One of the people in the CSGO scene happened to be H3H3, who has a large YouTube following, so he
Yeah.
decided to.
If H3H3 are ever listening to this, that's a 10 was your best work.
But so he really blew it open, and that's when people outside of the community got caught on.
Yeah.
And then because of this, a lot of people started getting exposed all at once on
Yeah.
America's Independence Day, no less, July 4th. So yeah, Syndicate and T. Martin are exposed. They're
What's more American than blackmail and gambling, though? I mean,
Nothing.
They have a friend, co-conspirator Josh OG, was
Yep.
also involved. This was all CSGO Lotto, by the way. I forgot to say that.
Right.
T. Martin and Syndicate were CSGO Lotto. We have Phantom Lord, who Chris will get to in a little bit, also from CSGO Shuffle. We said Mo from CSGO Diamonds. And also, OP Skins was involved in this, but
This is a
they
whole
had,
damn operation.
Yeah.
they had no part in any of the lawsuits to come.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 week later, July 13th, 2016, Valve updated their terms of service to say, like, hey, maybe stop using our service for illegal gambling. And
He's like very like nice about it.
as it now violates our terms of service. A couple days later,
Did they write new terms of service
Yes.
to try?
Yeah.
I figured.
They have, they have an open AI.
It was always meant to be against their terms of service. They updated the verbiage to be like
To cut all the loopholes.
Without
and-
a doubt, you cannot do this.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And they were probably worried about underage kids doing it too.
Oh yeah. Well,
you
they
mentioned
were
stealing
worried
parents,
out
right?
because it was happening.
Yeah.
And again, we'll get to that. July 16th, a couple days later, one of the people I mentioned above, James Phantom Lord Varga of CSGO Shuffle fame, is banned by Twitch. And again, this will come up in the lawsuits.
Right. You already get big companies involved
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah.
Right now, we have Valve, Google, and Amazon all involved. And soon to be the United States government as well. Now, a couple days later, July 20th, 2016, Valve sends cease and desist letters to 23 of these websites. And I have the list of all of them. Not going to read them because they're all real stupid and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But they basically said, hey, you have 10 days to stop using this or you will all be banned forever from Steam. Because
Everywhere.
the way that this works is, and Chris can talk about this a little more if I get anything wrong, but you trade an item to a bot. That bot takes that and puts it in a pool. And then the algorithm determines which items go to which people, and then the bot comes back and trades the item to you. So they do need to go through Valve to do this because the bots run through Steam. And
Right.
if those Steam accounts that the bots operate under are banned, no more.
Yeah, and even more so if
So
those
that does break
if those
everything.
pool accounts, because the bots are essentially the middlemen holding for the bankroll of these websites, because you can't
Oh, wow.
remove the item from Steam. It's not like you could transport it anywhere else. So yeah, they all use Steam API. And there's if you're ever interested, you should go to the subreddit Vac Porn, and you should look at some of the highlights of all time. And there was like screenshots of some of these bank bots
Right.
with like $120,000 in skins sitting in their inventory. They get vacked, which means they can't access their inventory.
Oh, so that's just locked in there.
Locked.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so I brought up the list.
Yeah.
Chris came up with a good idea. I brought up the list of these 23 websites that got the cease and desist. I'm going to give you each a couple goes to try and guess some of the names that are not CSGO Lounge, CSGO Lotto, or CSGO Diamond, because we already said those.
Are they that like contrived? Like they got actually okay.
Think casino terms.
Okay.
Skin craps.
You might be onto something.
CS poker.
Yo, CS roulette. That's gotta be one.
CS roulette's got to be one.
What about roulette party? Skin factory.
CS go for broke.
That's a really
Okay. You each get one more guess, and then I'll read off some of these.
Damn it.
When in doubt, just put CSGO in front of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
CSGO rackets game.
You already said lottery, right? Is that one?
Yeah.
CSGO
Lotto
lottery.
I
was
feel
one.
like that's probably one.
That's
CSGO
lotto.
lottery?
you
Without looking
said.
at
No, lottery's not.
CSGO Mega Millions.
No, but you're so close.
Damn it.
All right. Ready for some of this gold?
Yeah.
Okay,
CSGO.
so we said
CS Gold. Oh, that's so good.
No, nobody did that.
No?
No, but we got a better one than that. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, so we said CSGO Lounge, CSGO Diamonds, CSGO Lotto. We have, those are all .coms. We have CSGO.com, CSGOcosmos.com, CSGOcasino.net,
That's on the nose.
CSGOhouse.com. This is my favorite, CSGoatsy.com.
Yes. Holy shit.
Did Chris make that?
They were all about the jokes and making money.
CSGOcrash.com.
Okay.
CSGObig.com.
Foretelling.
Oh, CSGO Big. I almost said that.
Yeah, CSGOfast.com, CSGOsweep.com, skins2.com, CSGOpot.com, CSGOwild.com, and bets.gg.
Bets.gg.
That's good.
Yeah, all right. Back to the timeline.
Yeah, jeez.
This is around like when Twitch started to get pissed, right? Like
Yes.
They started, yeah.
Sometime in the month of July, where all of this was going down, Twitch hopped on the bandwagon and updated their terms of service. Or no, sorry, they didn't update their terms of service. They claimed their terms of service were solid and that this type of promotion was not allowed, and they would ban any users who showed CSGO betting. This was an outcome of them banning Phantom Mode.
Apply to other games too? Like TF2 or FIFA or EVE or anything? Like, did just CSGO betting? Or
They said stop CSGO betting stuff,
Right.
but like
Yeah.
their terms of service apparently did not allow for any of this
Any
kind
type
of
of
stuff.
There's
Okay.
like if you have an Overwatch stream of you opening 100 loot boxes, you won't get banned.
Right.
But
Because I've seen that all the time.
but like if it's you on CS:GO Blackjack and
Right.
you're like actively betting skins and showing yourself winning
Right,
or losing,
Yeah.
and that's because Phantom Lord did it a lot.
Which is funny because Twitch just allows straight up gambling.
Yes.
Like they stream
Yes.
like poker games.
Poker, yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah, but whenever if you're doing that, then the onus is on the casino that you're
Right,
playing at
yeah,
to
yeah.
validate that you're of age and you're doing all this stuff. Whereas like
Yeah.
for online gambling, it's just
Those protections, I guess, are not really
when
there.
you're betting with essentially fake currency.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to hand it off. We're going to flash back about a month to when I said June 23rd, 2016, first lawsuit against Valve. And I'm going to hand it over to Chris, and he's going to talk about the deluge of lawsuits that came out of this.
Okay. June 23rd, 2016, lawsuit number 1. Valve was sued by.
I wish you had a packet in front of you.
I really
He has
should
a
print it
digital
out.
packet. It's
Yeah.
multiple pages. Don't worry.
Valve is sued by some attorney. It's filed in Connecticut.
Okay.
They filed for restitution, unjust enrichment, federal civil racketeering, and the Connecticut unfair
Is this like a
trade
DA
practices.
in Connecticut? Or?
No, private attorney.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the state.
Yeah.
It's someone. It's just it's an attorney. It's me suing you, not the government suing them.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He's a private citizen suing Valve.
Yeah, okay.
Side note: the lead counsel on this, he's also the head litigator against DraftKings and FanDuel. which had
Oh,
its
so they were
DraftKings.
on the tear.
This was in his
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
Right.
So that was June 23rd.
That's impressive. I thought the first one was going to be a wash. That's like already off the bat.
Yeah.
And, like, it's,
July 1st, So this is 3 days before T Martin and Pro Syndicate are found.
Right, yeah.
Lawsuit number 2 comes out. It's filed in the Southern District of Florida by the same people who filed on June 23rd.
Okay.
The lead plaintiff is some mom.
Right. Yeah, I saw that on here. Was this over like maybe a stolen credit card or?
Yeah, this was
I guess it was her
was
sons or
my
daughters
poor
playing
boy
the
is a
game.
gambling addict.
Right. Okay.
Lost all his money, spent all my money.
She had kids, and college fund was gone.
Yeah. July 4th, T Martin and Pro Syndicate are discovered, and
Happy Independence
they
Day.
make some tweets. They make a few videos of them. Like, I think Pro Syndicate apologized, and T Martin like stares into his dog's eyes and then looks like an idiot and says like, "I didn't mean anything by it." They get thrust.
I didn't think I got caught.
I thought I was pretty clear. So they get placed in the limelight.
Right.
3 days later, July 7th, this lawsuit that was started 6 days earlier, it's now amended to include CSGO, Lotto, T Martin, Pro Syndicate.
Oof.
So they tack them on there.
Okay.
They're looking for restitution, unjust enrichment, federal civil racketeering, Florida's unfair trade practices, and on top of that, fraud and misrepresentation.
How old are these guys? Do we know how old like T Martin and Syndicate and stuff are?
20s.
Young guys, yeah.
20s. Same day, July 7th, the same day they amended it, third lawsuit comes up. They file it in New Jersey. Same guy.
Home state.
They hit Valve, Lotto, T Martin, I'm just going to call him Martin, and then Pro Syndicate or Thomas Cassell. So I'm just going to call him Cassell.
Did Valve at this point make a statement of any kind? Like they had to be.
Yes, so they came out and said this was after the cease and desist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
and
some fires to extinguish.
and then a few days later they update their terms of service.
Yeah.
Right.
As like the preemptive, right?
Yeah.
So this had all the same shit as before attached to it, except it had New Jersey consumer fraud. It also has a nationwide call out for all persons who spent money to purchase skins on CSGO Lotto to basically become defendants, and if they suffered losses at the hands to become plaintiffs, sorry.
Yeah.
And if they suffered losses at the defendants or any and all unnamed co-spirators, which is like a legal thing that they do when it's like,
Yeah,
I got
'cause-
jumped by 6 dudes and I only know one of them.
Yeah.
I'll put my lawsuit against the dude I know and then 5 John Does, right? Because eventually
Yeah.
I'll find out who it is and then I can attach them on.
Oh, and then they retroactively
i.e.
will go
attach on
back.
the other websites that are involved and anybody
Yeah,
else.
right.
who's
Yeah.
fucking
Anyone else gets
perpetuating
exposed, they're getting added to a lawsuit.
Man, how many people were shaking in their boots?
A
Oh,
lot.
boy.
Yeah.
July
that.
16th.
Shaking in their pink tiger striped boots.
Yeah. They're shaking in their in their ruby red StatTrack Pro.
Trying to think of what the most sought after skins were in that game at that time.
That's a good question.
No, what's the Apple earbuds equivalent of?
Probably the Alp Dragon lore, but I don't know when it came out though.
Okay.
But that's like a pretty big one, and then
Because I assume they did limited run shit too.
Yeah. There's skins that are
They had-
upwards of like 1,000.
They had different crates that you had to buy different keys to unlock.
Of course.
Yeah. You know,
But
the
they
Chroma
would stay in your
2Ks
inventory forever until you unlocked them. You
Key-
could only earn them
Get
certain
reminded
times.
every time.
keys
you
are
logged in,
keys
yeah.
are $2.49 a pop, but cases go for 3 cents. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also have all that other shit where like if you watch tournaments in game,
Yeah.
because there's like a spectator connected to the server, stuff like that. You have a chance to get like special cases that only drop for that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I remember the spectator incentive stuff.
Also,
as well.
we'll get to this a little later to interrupt the lawsuit thing for a minute. Valve had come out with another game in this time, Dota 2, that had the
Yes.
same case system.
Same system. Yeah. Everything.
And this was also getting in the skins from that game, and the cases and stuff were also getting involved in this stuff. There was
Yeah.
a lot of people doing some
They're
Dota 2
spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah, there were a lot of people doing Dota 2.
Maybe this is why they don't
Gambling as
make
well.
games anymore.
Yeah. So that was July 7th. July 16th. Twitch bans
Hope you're
Phantom.
proud. You all canceled Half-Life 3.
Well, that's because if you wanted to get a crowbar, you had to unlock it. And a Half-Life 3 Founders
crowbars
Edition.
open cases. You don't even.
Oh, that's right. You buy the crowbars to open the cases, right? But if you wanted a head crab, the head crab hat,
I want that in real life.
The head crab.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
God.
sold it on their site for a while.
Yeah. So, so July 16th, they ban James Phantom Lord Varga, right?
Yeah.
And originally, it's because his involvement, obviously, with the gambling, the website not disclosing it to his people, gambling on the site. He's pretty nefarious for what he did in the sense that, like, remember I told you, like, they put the curtain and then they determine it?
Yeah.
There's a really renowned esports journalist, Richard Lewis, who's kind of been doing it for like 10, 15 years. He broke
That's
the
a
story
long
about
time.
it with some screenshots of him talking to.
So he had dirt too.
He had the Skype conversations between him and basically, this guy played League of Legends and then went to playing CSGO. He's not programming a site using blockchain and gambling. So he's talking to his web admin who like actually knows what the fuck he's doing.
Right, yeah.
And there's little conversations.
No
of
paper
him.
trail.
Yeah,
Fucked
right.
up.
Until the guy he was talking to took the screenshots of the conversation of
If only
him,
Snapchat existed
him
back then.
asking for the next call for him to go in.
Right.
Because he's on stream live and on his second monitor, he's asking him which pool should I go into that I could guarantee I win. So he would go on his own website, and it was all to legitimize an illegitimate practice.
Yeah.
Like, he would go on his own website on one monitor, show him donating or giving to the bots the items, and then seemingly going into pots where he's dumping $5,000 worth of skins.
You're not kidding. That's
And then-
pretty shitty.
And then winning.
Yeah, of course.
And then winning.
Yeah.
And he's doing it live. And there's screenshots of him saying, like, if I show myself winning live, we get more money.
Of course. He's getting subscribers and stuff too.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone's
what I'm saying,
because
everybody's getting a piece.
Yeah.
So.
every subscriber's like, they're quote unquote like goading him on, but he's doing it on purpose. Like he'll
Yeah.
get a sub and the sub message will be like, "Go all in, faggot," and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, well I will," and then he will and he'll win, and then he'll fucking and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, yeah!" The pod champs come out and chat. Yeah, you could see those screenshots online if you looked them up. Yeah. So Twitch obviously bans him.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
And, they cite some pretty iffy shit to begin with. They're like, oh, he broke the 30-minute maximum of showcasing gambling on stream. Clearly they were going to get some really negative press for this.
Yeah, they were trying to find a
A scapegoat.
reason, yeah.
And they do, and they ban him, right? So this is July 16th. Then July 20th, Valve sends the cease and desist to all those lovely websites. And then August 4th. So this is a month after Martin and Cassell are found.
Right.
The previous 3 lawsuits in Connecticut, Florida, and New Jersey, they're all voluntarily dismissed by the plaintiffs. So the lawyer
Wow.
dude, he's like, I'm backing off. Can you guess why?
Because he was paid.
Oh, that would be a good one. No.
Because they started to get investigated by someone else.
No. Because he files the grand poobah of all fucking lawsuits the very same day. So he's like, forget these little ones. He files a class action lawsuit, which is different than the regular lawsuit.
Of course, yeah.
Sweeps everyone. Valve, CSGO Lotto, OP Skins, Phantom Lord, Phantom Lord's
like a true
company,
lawyer.
Phantom Lord Inc., which I guess is like his holdings company, CSGO Shuffle, T. Martin, and Thomas Cassell in it.
So he's like, I don't want any of these because
He's like,
I have this.
Yeah,
fish,
he's like, fuck the little guys, we're gonna have the big one.
Yeah. Boy.
The lead plaintiff is this guy, Michael John McLeod, who's being represented obviously by the same lawyer who did all the other fucking lawsuits. Their claims, because it's a class action and they're trying to file it under RICO, which is racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization, which I'll tell you about in a sec. Their claims, it violates 50 states' gambling laws. Unjust enrichment.
Wait, 50 states?
50 states.
Isn't that all of them?
Yeah. Yeah. Unjust enrichment, naturally. Federal civil racketeering, fraud and misrepresentation. Violations of 50 states' consumer and protection status.
Holy crap.
So he's asserting that since it's online and within the United States, it thus violates every state's consumer and protection status and all their state gambling
Yeah,
laws.
because it can reach everything.
Because he's basically his own casino. He's Clams Casino over here.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Boy fucking opening up his own fucking like treehouse fucking casino. negligence, and then declaratory relief, aka they want some money. So RICO. Do you guys know when RICO cases first started?
I imagine some mob days.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
actually, well, yeah, 1970.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But yeah, mob
Jesus.
days.
So a little bit later,
It
yeah.
was a result of something called the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, and it was meant to persecute crimes like mafias and gangs.
Yeah, because instead of like trying to pick apart a bunch of little dudes and then never eating at it, you can just be like, just wipe out the
Yeah.
whole organization in
Yeah.
like one fucking suit.
So I'm actually going to pass it back to Austin for you guys to play another game, which is guess who's been prosecuted successfully as a RICO case.
All right, so we have a list of people here who have been prosecuted under this law, and we're going to give you guys a couple guesses.
Gabe Newell.
Well, yes, but not,
Yeah.
not including Valve. Nobody we've already mentioned.
Right.
You should already know one.
The random people who have been prosecuted.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I assume you're talking about head honchos.
Yes, we're talking about organizations here.
Okay.
Wait, organizations or people?
Organizations. It is the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Law.
Walmart.
No,
Ooh.
Disney.
that's a good one though. No.
Oh, they would be. Okay, first clue. Motorcycle gang.
Hell's
Hell's
Angels.
Angels?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually think I heard about that.
Yeah, I think I did too.
All right, gang that wears gold.
Latin Kings.
Yes.
Yo,
The Knicks.
A gang, yo, check this out.
the Saints.
A gang that wears blue, not the Crips.
Shit.
Oh, the police.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Got him.
The Los Angeles Police Department for their part in the 90s.
Yeah,
With some shit.
I've heard
Yeah.
some great stories about
Yeah.
that.
I think there was also the
days.
Miami Police Department, but
Yeah.
some other shit.
All right, here's your next clue. Spotlight.
Oh, the Roman Catholic Church.
Ding, ding, ding. Catholic Church sex abuse cases.
Oh my God.
Clue, soccer.
FIFA.
Ding, ding, ding.
Definitely
I knew
FIFA.
about that one. Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, here's a good clue.
The Flat
Our first
Earth
episode
Organization.
has something to do with this.
Oh, MLB.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh my God.
All right. Roe v. Wade.
Wait, what?
Roe
That's
v.
your
Wade.
next clue.
Bro, what do you mean, like the abortion case? So what? So like like the abortion clinics themselves, or
Ooh,
Planned
the
Parenthood.
other direction?
Opposite.
Okay.
Opposite.
Well, like against it, like who's against it? Like the Westboro?
no.
No, just
Yeah, they're not
pro-life activists.
Pro-life activists.
Yeah, the National Organization of Women sued pro-life activists who were blocking access to abortion clinics.
Yeah.
It's important because it demonstrated that you didn't need any kind of economic or monetary value tied to RICO cases because the damage was obviously in the aspect of women's health.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I should mention that the FIFA one was wire fraud, money laundering, and racketeering
Right.
when they were found to be accepting bribes for where to host the World Cup.
Crazy.
Where was the World Cup hosted this year?
I forget.
Russia.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Where is it going to be hosted in 2022?
Here,
West
right?
Russia.
I'll give you a hint. It's a country that begins with the letter Q.
What? Cute. I don't know.
Qatar.
Qatar. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
How is
yeah, yeah.
Qatar hosting the 2022 World Cup?
Scenic guitar.
Scenic Qatar.
Yeah.
Where the hell's that?
It's in the desert. It's
Middle-
in the UAE, right?
Yeah.
No,
It's-
it's near the UAE.
Okay.
But yeah,
my
Middle East.
geography, I guess.
Yeah, so like in there, there's also
Come back to me when it's on the moon.
Gambino crime family and the Lucchese
Right,
crime
yeah.
families.
Yeah.
So and for the Catholic Church, it was important because they put 2 bishops away, but your boy
What up, Vatican?
Bernard, your Cardinal Bernard Law, I think his name is,
From Boston.
from Baston.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
He got a
Baston.
quick reassignment to the Vatican before they could
Yeah.
swap
Yeah.
out the black and white for the orange.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
and then
Jeez.
any more that we're missing?
Yes, one.
Oh yeah,
This is the one we told you about before.
Oh yeah, good old Donnie boy.
Donnie boy.
Good
Donald
old
Trump, Trump
Donnie
University.
boy. He 2013 Trump University basically did the Vry path of, this is a real school, you'll get an accredited degree. It was absolute bullshit.
This is the one. This is the one that most people are probably familiar with because this one came up in the election.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
as
yeah.
the election was going on, he was still being sued for his
Clearly it worked.
part in Trump University. Oh yeah.
Yes. But yeah, paid $25 million at the end of it, and then signed a disclosure of no admission of wrongdoing. So yeah,
So the good guys won. Wait, no.
yeah, right. He became president, and ironically, it kind of just like went away.
In typical American fashion, as you all know, FIFA no longer a thing. MLB long gone. The Catholic Church been done
Sayonara.
with. Donald Trump lost all his money. He's not important anymore.
Yeah.
The
World's
good
better.
guys won.
Yeah.
Latin Kings thriving. Hell's Angels saw him on the road the other day.
And thank God the Latin Kings are thriving, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh my god. So the big thing though is bring it back to the Valve thing is what do all of these lawsuits have in common from the four that they filed so far? So the common denominator is that they all want two things, right? They want to file them as a class action,
Right.
and the prosecution so desperately wants it to go in front of a jury. That's the two big things because it's shitty, but in the eyes of the law, T. Martin and Pro Syndicate didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you willingly engaged in gambling, you knew the risk, therefore you must accept the outcome. And if you clicked a thing that said you're over 18 to enter the website,
Then that
is
you're
on
no
you.
longer liable. Yeah,
then that is on you.
The only thing that they did wrong
or you are rather.
was the lawful misrepresentation,
Yes.
the fixing of the thing in order for promotion.
Yes.
Which is not illegal under federal law. It is legal
Now,
under
if
FTC regulation,
didn't
which
get
we will get to.
Greedy and manipulative of the system, like would this have just progressed the way it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think more and more people were getting into it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was growing, but it wasn't until like people got caught and things started to get sort of gamey, and that's when Valve was like, "Whoa!" And Twitch,
I mean-
and, like they would have let it go.
God bless Mo, dude.
It's money.
This dude's a pretty reputable dude. I mean, I think he's a content creator, played CS.
Right. I should have prefaced it at the
professionally.
beginning that like not every one of our characters here is created equal. They're not. It's not necessarily a league of villains, but I think we make it pretty distinguishable who our assholes in the story are and who aren't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about it this way: you're a streamer, right? Your daily income is astronomical already,
Right.
And then imagine a company comes to you and they're a gambling website and they offer to double your daily income to put their logo on your stream because they're making so much money.
Who wouldn't say no?
Who wouldn't say no?
Yeah.
And
Who wouldn't say yes, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
oh, you're right.
I meant who wouldn't
Yes,
say
yeah,
no
yeah,
to
yeah.
it?
Who would say no to it?
Yes.
Yeah. But everyone would agree, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
and-
we know people who play games like who at some point probably played games competitively enough that would be hugely appealing. And yeah.
Actually, this is a good question to ask you guys. So,
I'm
like,
gonna throw this out there. If the Latin Kings wants to sponsor my stream, I'm more than happy to play games for you.
Not you, Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
uh-oh. Don't say that.
If pro-life activists want to sponsor my stream,
Oh my god.
just have all of these logos. Yeah. The Gambino crime family.
Next to the
It's like the
MLB
entire
logo.
screen.
MLB logo.
Just MLB, FIFA, the Catholic Church, and the Latin Kings.
Proud sponsorships. Bringing together the network. Oh my god, yeah. That'd be awesome. No, question to you guys. So have you guys heard of the company G2A?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They sell keys and like.
Randy bought a key
I did.
for hatred off of there.
I did.
And then the game was bad, and then it got banned from his Steam
did.
account. It got removed from his Steam
Listen,
account.
I wanted to see that game, and I didn't want to pay a bunch of white supremacists to play it. So I bought it from a keygen site, and allowed me to try the game long enough to see that it wasn't good, and Austin long enough to see that it also was trash, and then it got taken away from me. They revoked it from my library.
Wait. It was made by white supremacists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please
Well,
tell.
there was like a Polish team involved. Well, they I don't know how many people were involved with the making of that game, but like apparently they follow some pretty questionable groups on Facebook that have some pretty extreme opinions.
The game was called Hatred. You were a guy in a trench coat shooting up random civilians.
Let's
Oh,
say
shit.
they'd be
One of the
sponsoring
very few
Alton Stream.
AO
Okay.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if every single person involved in that game, was like. I'm sure there were some people in that game just trying to make a new postal for the modern age, and then there were other people. I don't know, so, but like either way, that was not the only game I bought on there. I bought a couple games off there. Some of the games in my library still working.
So
I bought Rocksmith off there because I didn't want. I already owned the cable from playing it on console, and so I bought it from there for like it was like a $60 game for $12. Still in my library because I was gonna mod it anyway. So
was Hatred removed because of the game itself was removed, or is it 'cause the CD?
initially it was, then it got put back.
That's a weird case. It was removed from his account because they discovered it was a false key.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
you mean my case specifically?
yeah. So that goes to the next question is like, would you accept the sponsorship from G2A? Knowing that some of their keys are stolen.
Well, no. Well, because here's the thing about G2A. I think they become maybe a little more legitimate over time. They're still a thing.
Yeah,
But,
they're
like,
still out there.
I know there was a lot of game because for a while their big thing was like they were selling Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus cards and stuff like that. But they, obviously not for full price. And I guess they were just like it's the equivalent of like you can sell gift cards and then people buy used gift cards that haven't been used. So like. That was their big thing for a while. It was like, yo, we got subscriptions for World of Warcraft, like real cheap. And then it's like they work, but how do we get them? I don't know. And then like as time went on, when they would like get unused codes from Nvidia, or just people would sell them, or I don't know how. But then there was some controversy about stealing credit card info.
People would sell them to them.
Okay, because when I stopped using G2A once I found out that there were some people that got their credit card stuff stolen. Because I was like. It's one thing to take money away from a major publisher who can afford it. It's another thing to hurt other people, individuals that are, or morons like me that use it. So like that's.
So is it morally right to buy or accept a sponsorship from basically a modern day fence, even if they did clean up
that's
their
a big
act?
question because then it's like you're talking about how you feel about like downloading music and stuff. Like it just turns into like
downloading music is like stealing a car.
Exactly.
You wouldn't download a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I would.
You wouldn't steal a baby.
I get extra digital sausage.
So yeah, that's funny. I haven't heard G2A mentioned in a few years.
Yeah, but they're still around.
Yeah, they still sponsor some streamers too.
They do, which is always weird to me because the funny thing about that site is it doesn't look legitimate at all.
Yeah.
You go on it and it's just like constant. Like it looks like. You ever see a site that is just like you're almost overstimulated by the amount of shit on it because they just every inch of that page is sold to another company. There's just ads that are like built into the thing. It doesn't matter if you have blocker or not. Like it's like that site never looks legitimate. And now it's funny. You go on like you're saying you go on Twitch or whatever, and it's just you see that logo in the corner. You see it at like events. Like you see it at like at gaming competitions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
yeah. Like,
isn't it weird when like the basis of a major company and sponsor is like pretty shady?
Yeah. No, except now all the companies we mentioned, most of them still going strong. So it's not like there was any punishment against. It's not like the MLB is still pretty respected. It's like yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Crazy though.
But yeah, so I guess back to all this stuff. So this RICO case, right? It was opened in August 4th of 2016. Jump ahead 2 months to the date, October 4th, 2016. Goodbye lawsuits 1 through 3 and 4 kind of. So basically, the prosecution stepped back of like being so hell bent on it, and they're like, "Yeah, just send it to the fucking judge. Put the nail in it." That's what they do. The courts dismiss the first 3 lawsuits with prejudice, which is the legal term for you can't bring it fucking back here. So double jeopardy, right?
Right. Yeah.
They said don't even try this shit, and then they throw out the class action portion. And
that surprised me.
And the RICO portion of case number 4. So now all they have to do is basically get this non-class action one thrown out.
Sweeping it under.
Yeah. So October 5th, day after, the Washington State Gaming Commission orders Valve to immediately stop allowing the transfer of skins for gambling activities through the company's Steam platform. And they gave the company till October 14th, so 9 days.
9 days.
To submit notice of compliance or otherwise face legal repercussions, which may include criminal charges.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And how about our boys?
And do they do it?
How's Team Martin and Syndicate doing?
Well, at this point, they're head over heels in legal costs,
Right.
representing themselves in 3 states and 4 different counties. And on top of that, they have their companies which are being sued: CSGO, Lotto.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
That they started, right?
They started. They both owned 42.5% of the company. So collectively, they owned 85%. The last 15 went to the other dude, Josh OG,
Right.
who at the time I think he was still going by his original name, which was the Original Weed. This dude loved the burn. Loved the burn. Josh, if this podcast ever gets to you, while you're listening to this, take a fat rip.
Yeah, all his skins were the pot leaf ones.
Yeah.
That's really why he started the company.
He kind of had that blissful ignorance type approach to it, and I think people,
sure, he was a
people
stoner.
forgave him a lot more than they forgave.
I mean, did he like throw his hands up and didn't?
He was more like, oh, dude, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought it was just like a business venture, and people were like,
yeah, he has
that's
such a
believable.
small stake in it, so it's likely.
I mean,
Or
he
it
had
could be
just
likely.
he just little enough stake to play that card. I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That man, if there's one thing in Josh's life, it's that man adores the cannabis. So like, I think he was just trying to do his own thing, and they just kind of came up and they were like, "Hey, we got a good business venture for you." And he's
Imagine him
like,
showing up to high in court.
Yeah,
and
they
being like,
called him
"Come
while he was
on."
high, and they're like, "Dude, we're getting investigated by the FTC and sued by like 4 states." And he's like, "What? Whoa!"
"Oh man,
The FTC, our old friends.
yeah." So
Crazy! I never thought when all of us decided to start a gaming podcast that we'd be talking about the Federal Trades Commission as much as we do.
Yeah.
The FTC, the SEC, the FBI,
yeah.
CIA,
Yeah.
NBA, MLB.
and stay tuned for some Supreme Court intervention on a future episode of Hot Button.
Oh my god.
So we'll zoom ahead to 2017. In January, that was the last legal document that I got to take a look at of T. Martin's lawyers trying to file for the rest of the Grand Poobah case to be thrown out.
Right.
I should probably check up to see if that was actually thrown out or not. But I don't feel like paying the 10 cent per page for legal briefs.
That's how much they really?
Yeah. Electronic court filings, 10 cents per page. And as you can imagine, they're like,
That's
for some shit
fascinating
like
to me.
this,
Where
it's
does
gonna
that
be
money
like
go?
50 pages.
The government.
Okay.
Court systems,
Sure.
bro.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that makes
The
sense.
state of Connecticut or Rhode Island.
Money goes into CSGO skins.
Yeah.
That's the real irony.
So roll ahead to September 2017. T. Martin and Syndicate are investigated by the FTC. Yeah. December. 3 months later, they come out.
What a year.
Oh, what a year. 2016, 2017, not a good time for T. Martin.
I know these guys are probably a little older, but I keep envisioning them in high school.
They're like
And
20.
You just come
they're
back. What did you do for your summer vacation?
You got to imagine, they're like 20, they got to be mid 20s, and their target audience is 13 to 18 year olds.
Yeah, that's
so they're
the-
just those type of dudes.
Totally.
You know?
That's the vibe I got when I was watching
Like-
those videos.
It's the
Everything
worst.
from their eyebrows down, probably waxed. Like those kinds of dudes, you know? Like buys like an imported dog just because it probably gets some more views on his videos. Like if there's any 2 assholes in this world, it would be these 2 guys.
Yeah.
So I have no fucking remorse for these guys. I hope they listen to this and write me.
Yeah.
Because I'll write you back. Because your addresses are all over legal proceedings on the internet.
They probably moved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Come find me and fight me.
Oh, you're trying to knuckle up? Yeah. Dude, I'll starch those motherfuckers. So yeah, December 2017, FTC concludes its investigation and they fine them. No, they don't find them.
They, they did not find them at all.
Sorry
What?
about that.
So let me cut in here. The way the FTC works is that they're a government agency that's just out to make rules. So if you violate something that should have been a rule, but is explicitly not a rule, you don't get in trouble at all. They just update their guidelines so that anybody who
It's
follows
like naming
your,
a disease after
yeah, anybody who follows in your footsteps
you. Will get
fined.
Right.
So they did not find them.
It's a good way to scare everyone
But
off then, I guess if that's
anybody-
the point.
Anybody found guilty of this in the future will have to pay fines upwards of $40,000.
Did they know that was a loophole?
Yes.
Or did they just luck out?
Phantom Lord did. In the
Okay.
chat logs, he actually describes the fact that there's
really?
no... It's in a gray area in the law,
I
so
wonder
they
if
should
he
be
looked
good.
that stuff up or if he hired someone to do that.
No way this guy's an IQ high enough to look this
Right,
up.
so I'm sure he had help from
Yeah.
All
that,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our pussy government agency. To contrast that, there was a similar ruling in the UK. The UK Gaming Commission investigated somebody for doing something very similar but gambling with FIFA Ultimate coins.
Right.
And they were fined £200,000.
How much is that?
I don't know.
In real money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's less.
You mean the world currency? You mean freedom dollars? I'll tell you how much it costs.
He's looking it up.
I'll tell you how much it is.
$10.
3 chocolate gorbanuts and yeah, no, it's a
300
lot.
hectares on a single tank of kerosene.
Oh god, it's $256,680.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which it might have been less at the time because this was pre-Brexit.
Now, was this the same thing? Were they able to did they just write? They just amended stuff after this,
Yep.
or was this
Yeah.
person actually? So they got technically let off the hook as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. The UK
well, no,
one.
not the
no,
UK.
the
That's what I mean.
UK one
No.
got fined.
They got fined.
They got
Oh,
fined
okay.
$250,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So with that, those rules were already in place over there, or they just were
No.
like, "Yo, fuck."
No, they're just like,
they're
fuck
just
you,
more-
don't be a
Yeah,
dickhead.
yeah.
Just a little more strict. Yeah, I guess. Alright.
Europe's got a different way, which is like in America, we're like you did wrong, but there's nothing to say that you didn't do wrong, so we can't fine you. Europe's like
slap on the yeah.
you fucked up, and
You
we're
know
gonna
you
fucking
fucked
yeah,
up,
we're gonna
yeah.
fine you, and then we're gonna change the law.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So, but yeah, the FIFA Ultimate coins.
Yeah, I wanted to take that little anecdote because I thought it's so stupid how our country
Oh,
works.
totally.
But pass it back to Chris.
Didn't you get an
To,
account stolen with FIFA once? Like,
I never played.
no,
FIFA.
I know you never played. You on Xbox though. I think somebody.
Yeah,
else-
bro.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they
so-
stole my account for some free-to-play MMO.
I thought it was FIFA.
No, it was an
ZT
MMO.
Online?
No. I forget what
I just
it
remember
was,
you being
but-
like, I didn't fucking buy all this.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
man.
Microsoft just gave me a bunch of free money, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I
The
thought it
funny
was
thing is
FIFA.
they charged my credit card, which was expired, luckily, at the time.
Oh, okay.
But Microsoft refunded me the money anyway without looking
Hey,
whether
not
my
a
credit
bad
card was
deal.
expired. So I got hacked, but I got like $80 out of the deal. So whatever.
Sure.
So, 2018 is a great year
Hey.
for sweet fucking justice.
This is everything.
February 14th, which is what, a day before Valentine's Day?
It is Valentine's.
It
Day.
Oh, it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Phantom Lord sues Twitch for breach of contract
Right.
nearly 600 days after being banned from it.
Jeez.
Wow.
So, to put in perspective,
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. To put in perspective as well, after Phantom Lord gets banned back in July, and he's going through these lawsuits and stuff like that, there's a Snapchat video that appears with him in it, and he lives in Vegas.
Of course.
Yeah, of
Of
course.
course. And
Of
it's
course.
like-
And there's
Couldn't be
videos of him
more
throwing
perfect.
piles of money with his friend into a pool.
What an asswipe. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So clearly something has happened since
Yeah,
then.
what are those addresses?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So clearly something has happened that he's probably run out of the money because now he's trying to sue Twitch almost 2 years later, right? And he's claiming breach of contract, basically saying they used me as a scapegoat for negative press. You know, they didn't notify me in accordance with my Twitch partnership contract, which people aren't familiar with Twitch. It's like back in the day, how it used to work is if you used to stream on any of the competitor sites, which was like owned.tv.
Oh, man.
MLG had their own thing for a bit. And you were,
That was around the time everybody was trying.
yeah, everyone tried before Twitch just kind of ate everyone up. Twitch used to reach out to you and give you a partnership contract. They used to poach you, or if you're strong enough on their own platform, they would offer it to you.
I wonder if they still do that.
They do, they do, but you got to be top of the top,
Right.
And you basically get more money
See that
for
that
subs.
potential as I do this with my fingers.
Yeah, subcontract like subscriber contracts on Twitch are typically 50-50, but if you reach a high enough level, then it shifts where you get 70, they get 30.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, they apparently they didn't notify him, right? So this was Valentine's Day of this year, May 2nd. Twitch files a counter lawsuit against Phantom Lord and are ready to throw some hands, very fucking heavy hands at him.
Yeah.
They begin by listing all 9 violations his account was found to be in during the month prior to his ban, one of which was purchasing a subscriber/viewer bot for his channel. And they kind of culminated all into 4 main points. He had a breach of contract because he did all this shit. He had 9 violations. Breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, aka he's a smeezer fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Negligent misrepresentation. So him lying to people, and then just finally fraud.
Right. Yeah.
They are also suing him for damages caused to Twitch through his actions of suing them, up to and including lawyer fees. So you gotta imagine too.
Read this fucking.
Yeah. Using words akin to, we don't need to prove Mr. Vargas is a terrible human being, so once we win this, we pray the courts will bring swift and fiery justice upon him for the sole reason of how shitty of a person he is.
Holy shit!
Twitch said that?
They did. They
This
said
is
that.
Chris paraphrasing
Yes,
what Twitch said.
but they use the word. They use actually the word pray a lot. They're like, we
good.
pray the courts will look into this, like extremely dubious matter.
There were like 7 middle finger emojis in that statement.
Yes,
It was really.
and you're talking about Amazon lawyers.
Yeah. This is after that.
You're not talking about Twitch small company.
The long dick of the law presented by Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos could crush him with money.
Jeff Bezos has like a $600 million contract with the CIA, and now he's making enemies with them.
Man.
So, do you want to? There was a few things non-related to the core stuff that also happened in 2018, so I'm going to pass it over to Austin.
So we're going to go back to our good friends OP Skins, the website OP Skins. They somehow...
They're still trucking.
They were not really a part of the whole faked winning YouTube thing that happened.
Right.
So
but they were still capitalizing on the trend.
They were still capitalizing on it, but like Chris said, what they did is not technically illegal.
Right.
It was very much against FTC. Well, I guess it wasn't against FTC guidelines. It now is to promote by faking results.
It's illegal to not disclose your partnership.
Yes.
Which is
okay.
I don't know if this is a fact or not, but have you noticed on YouTube videos in the bottom left-hand corner now it'll say includes paid promotion? Or if you're on Twitch, they'll have a bracket.
Hashtag sponsored.
Yes, that says
like Twitter
sponsored.
and stuff, yeah.
I have good reason to believe that is because of this. That is what they got in trouble for. But it didn't matter because they already retroactively, once it got found, once T. Martin and
you
Tom
can still
Cassell
play ignorant up to this point.
got exposed by H3H3, they went back and edited their videos to include this is a sponsorship thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were, my guess is they lawyered up super quick and their lawyer told them to do that. But thanks to the Wayback Machine of Internet Archives, you could see that they obviously added it.
Right.
But yeah, so it's illegal to not disclose your relationship with a company if you're promoting it. Because also, you got to remember what they did was they did not technically rig the game. The game,
that's what Austin was saying. They just
looked into the future to see what the outcome would be, as opposed to changing
it's
the
like
outcome.
counting cards, right?
Yeah. It is, but counting cards is not illegal.
It's not. Yeah, even though it can.
Even though we'll break your fucking legs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Either you get the money or the hammer.
Yeah. So yeah, they were still on this game, and now they were not just dealing in CSGO, but like I said, Dota 2 was also involved. PUBG was also involved.
Yep.
There were a couple other games involved, but those are the main 3. Valve implemented a 7-day cooldown on items.
Right.
I remember this because I tried to sell a bunch of PUBG items and I had to wait 7 days.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah. So when you get an item, you have a 7-day cooldown before it can be traded or sold.
And that was enough to.
No. So
Yeah, what does that do? I don't really.
So, some of them, it was enough for the shittier fly-by-night, probably Russian Sokobliet sites.
Yeah.
But
So basically, the way it worked was you would get items and then you would instantly bet them. So the way that the bots worked was, like I said, you trade it to a bot trades it to a pool trades it to another bot then trades it to the winner.
Yeah.
Every one of those interactions would have to be spaced out by 7 days.
They thought this would fix the problem.
Yes.
Like waiting, periods on reelguns.
Yeah, exactly.
Solved everything.
Wait, let's give the robots betting tools.
in typical, it's funny. Randy brings up that the gun waiting period thing because OP Skins quickly found their gun show loophole, and they found a way around this. I don't exactly understand how they did it, but it's akin to something like they just had the money and skins to throw around. So they would just hold a big pool of skins, and then if you traded them one skin, they would find the same skin that they could trade.
They had
and then
enough
trade
to
it back
do
to
that?
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've already got to have a collection.
We're talking.
They've
We're
been
talking
going for a while.
They,
now.
Yeah,
like,
for years.
They
good point,
They did
good
like
point.
you're talking like in total money in, money out.
Right.
You're upwards of like 25 million a year.
I just think it's funny that like they probably didn't plan ahead for it, and then when they saw that like new thing go into effect, then the new policy, they were just like, "Well, we're sitting on all that easy."
Well,
Like,
they like my guess is that they probably had someone write an algorithm, like a decay algorithm that
Right.
basically tells them the optimal inventory that they have based on the previous like transactions. Like if you
and
see,
they acted on that fast, like that fast. They're just
well, yes, yeah, I think it was within weeks if they didn't already have it out before Valve
Right.
came out with this.
Oh yeah, it was a couple weeks after.
Man.
It was real quick because it wasn't much on their part. They just had to adjust their little system to find similar items and pull them from.
right. And then eventually Valve cracked down on that as well.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So then Valve saw that they did this and said no, and they just nuked them. They banned all their bots with a whole bunch of inventory getting caught up. Now the site still runs. As of me and Chris's research, the site's
OP
still
bot,
up.
or,
OP skins, and
OP
they still
skins.
have this system where we can get around your cooldown, but you can't actually pull your skins out of their site anymore because their bots got
Oh,
banned.
that's just so much shit
Yeah.
getting locked. Man, that's crazy.
So it's
Yeah.
like you can still trade the skins to people, but it's like fake childhood stock market now, where it's like you can't pull
Salty bet.
you can't pull the
Yes.
skins out or sell them to people or anything.
Without the
So it's
fun.
like there's no point to it.
Yeah. of
Yeah,
course.
what are they worth, right?
Yeah.
That's VGO.
Yeah.
That's VGO. That's like
Yeah.
people paying Bitcoin to own Brad Pitt's crypto image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just they're just trading pictures of items.
Yeah.
now.
Also,
And you can find a bunch of forums of people being like, I don't get it. What's the point of this? There are people like, there is no point of this.
You're
It's
an
over
idiot.
finally.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
yeah.
exactly.
I wonder what kind of liability OP Skins had when their bots got nuked. Like, do you think Gabe got on the phone? He's like, "You're about to feel the fist," and they're like, "Get it all
The
out."
long knife of justice.
Yeah.
So how
The
many?
Karambit stats track.
What did this mean for all the other games as well that were?
Dota has a pretty
So,
good system.
We have. Do you know how Dota's system works?
It's you can't open the same item twice.
Yeah.
So once you open it, it gets removed from the pool of items that you could open.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
like one loot box has 10 possible items,
Right.
and they're all common. I think if you buy 10 loot boxes, you're guaranteed all the items in it or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
So-
a good way to get.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to
Because now it's purely for cosmetic sake, like it should have been originally.
that actually goes back. What they essentially did was they changed the gachapon, right? It goes back to like the Kompu gacha, which it was a type of gambling.
Yeah.
They changed their type of gambling. Like the one that was made illegal was like, imagine in Overwatch if you wanted to get a Junkrat skin, right? But
Mm-hmm.
in order to unlock it, you had to unlock his pants, his shirt, his gun, his shoes, and then once you had all four, it would combine into an item.
Mm. Sounds
that you
like
could actually
Destiny
use.
shaders.
That was made illegal. But there's different types of gotcha gambling,
Right.
and that's one of them. Is the once you get it, you can't get it again.
Okay.
Kind of interesting.
Some of it, yeah.
So Dota 2, Chris just described, works similar to CSGO, but they changed it just enough.
Just enough to get around.
to take the
there, yeah.
rarity out of the items and make
Yeah.
them worth less. FIFA Ultimate Team allows people to trade players, and their whole thing is like, well, the real FIFA you can trade players, so it's like it's realistic.
Oh, so the whole
but-
thing's a racket, like real soccer.
like real FIFA,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Match fixing.
I'm gonna skip that one because that's my favorite one. PUBG. I have a little mini timeline here. So PUBG came out in early 2017, middle of 2017, they added the loot
Got to
boxes.
get those Harley Quinn and Joker skins somehow.
That wasn't until recently. That's not on my timeline.
Damn it.
But they added loot boxes in the middle of 2017, and then
Brandon Green.
PlayerUnknown himself came out and said Valve has enough measures in place that this gambling in this game won't be a problem.
I bet.
Flash forward a couple months, a number of sites started to pop up around PUBG gambling. And then in May of 20...
immediately.
Game save me.
I'm confident in Valve's ability to stop this 2 months later.
It's like a challenge.
Fast forward to May of 2018, the problem got so out of hand that PUBG Corp had to disable Steam trading in PUBG entirely.
Point Fortnite, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and my favorite story...
Well, didn't Rocket League added item
Hold on,
trading
I'm
as
getting
well,
there.
Right? Okay.
My favorite story, EVE Online.
Oh, it's everybody's favorite story.
So EVE Online has a lot of things where you can buy their in-game money for real money, and you can basically create and hold any job you want. So a bunch of people created a bunch of player-run casinos that allowed people to gamble with their in-game EVE money.
God, we have to do an online episode.
I know.
It's so-
The people involved in these casinos started to get a lot of money because casinos are scummy and you make a lot of money. And then they decided that, you know what? If we pulled our assets together, we might have enough money to overthrow the EVE Online government. The EVE Online, the main leading faction in EVE Online had to actually pull what's it called? CCP, the people that make EVE, to ban the accounts because they're like, these people are doing gambling.
See, that's brilliant. At least they're clever with it in a way that I feel like anything should
I
go
know.
in that game.
They're like a real corporation. They're
Yeah.
called corporations, but they act like it. They got deeply involved in
Like,
politics
that should be the- that
and
should be the- that should be the
lobbied the
exception
government
to the law.
and
Just-
lobbied the government to get rid of their competition.
Just
And,
let that site go. Or that
Okay,
game
and as
go.
Randy mentioned, we're gonna add one company in here that had no shady
Yeah, they did it
wrongdoings.
smart.
Psyonix, the makers of Rocket League, like Chris said at the beginning of the podcast, they had loot boxes. And Chainsaw said at the beginning of the podcast.
I was gonna say I didn't say shit.
Sorry, I forgot.
Remember who you're
Chainsaw said
talking
it. They added item trading in so that people could trade the items they got out of loot boxes. But they decided not to use the Steamworks API because, unlike PlayerUnknown, they do not trust Valve to stop gambling. So Rocket League, is it in there?
What?
Item trading.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is restrictions on it. Like a lot of items can't
Yeah.
be traded.
I think
like,
Killing
period.
Floor does that too. I think.
No, Killing Floor uses Steamworks.
Do they really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they fucking do.
Yes.
You're right.
I think I have like
Fuck
a
them.
green bandana and Killing Floor too,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think I have
it.
something.
Yeah.
I
But
never
Rocket
checked out.
League decided to just push all this aside and just let people trade items the way it was meant to,
Right.
with no corporate interaction or government intervention.
Smart.
Wow,
Okay, so
doing a kids game right. So the whole point
I'd say
of
most of the people that play Rocket League are probably older.
that's true.
Yeah, you call him
That's true.
Jason, our audio engineer.
It's kind of funny, right? When you have kids games, kids obviously are getting ramped up in this, and you don't want them to be. And then the prime age for gambling is like 13 to 21, and then people that are over 21 are like, I'm not fucking dumb enough to gamble. And we're just like, fuck this.
That's how Rocket League does the whole thing of like, hey, the game is easy to play, but fucking hard to master.
Yeah.
It's like that's the way.
Yeah. But yeah, so the summary of this is
Wrap us up. This
Shit.
is so good.
this shit is fucked up, and it looks like everyone's gonna get away with it.
hot button theme.
Yeah.
The bad
Yeah.
guys
Theme.
win.
The bad guys win. T. Martin and Tom Cassell. I gotta look up fucking. It's Tom Martin, right? What's fucking
I think his name's Tom Martin. Yeah.
Tom Arnold.
No.
Trevor Martin.
Trevor Martin.
I don't know. He doesn't really deserve to have his fucking name be
Yeah, that's fair.
pronounced correctly. Trevor Martin, and I've been definitely saying Tom Martin the entire fucking time. Oh well.
You said T. Martin.
T. Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Whatever. Those guys are the
Thane.
only forced to put tags in the YouTube videos
Thane
retroactively, which they did after H3 actually blew them up.
Right.
They made millions, and they're probably sitting on it. Phantom Lord, he got away with
Throwing it into a pool in Vegas. Or whatever.
Yeah, well, he got
That's
it.
Phantom Lord.
Yeah, Phantom Lord, James
That dude
Varga.
sucks.
He got away with the gambling thing, but he's now facing down the barrel of Amazon-owned Twitch and their lawyers. So if anybody is going to get fucked, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
Pretty bad, I guess, too.
Oh,
because, it's between his fucking Yellow Book lawyers and probably the best and brightest from, like, Ivy League on the West Coast going to work
Yeah.
for Amazon. He's
Yeah.
gonna get wrecked.
He's done so.
And Steam doesn't really need to do anything from a legal perspective to curb any of this. They're not obligated to.
Yeah.
It's kind of the BitTorrent or the Pirate Bay defense.
That is definitely I was going to say the Pirate Bay defense.
yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
they're just a
put your feet
platform
up.
that allows it to happen, but
Yeah.
they're not propagating it. And this was actually made worse by our lovely former governor, Chris Christie. Fun
the
fact.
gift that keeps on giving.
So he sued the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, and the case actually went past when he was a governor. So the actual case name is Murphy v. NCAA, and it was eventually heard before the Supreme Court, where it was decided that sports betting was a state's right. Therefore, it's only illegal if the state deems it so, which is why you see Atlantic City does sports betting. Different, right? Because
why is there's billboards everywhere that says you can bet on basketball?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see that they're popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's why we had to distinguish as well between gambling and betting, because gambling
Right, you were talking
is
about that.
completely different. It's the reason why I like Sugar House. For those who don't know, Sugar House
House
is like
Casino.
Atlantic City. Since we live in Jersey, is a pretty
Right.
awful place. But Sugar House Casino
Operates
is
out of Philly.
out of Philadelphia, which is right over state lines, and it's even worse. They're both just wannabe Vegases, but they have.
I mean, at least I don't think they're doing so well. So
They have light gambling, right? They have roulette, blackjack, and
Yeah.
slots, and then they have sports betting.
Yeah.
you know what else they also have?
What?
Free parking if you want to hang out anywhere else in that district.
Ooh, there's a lot of stuff to do around the area.
Yeah, the Fillmore and the Foundry's right there. There's a bowling alley.
Dave & Buster's?
Yeah,
This is going over the heads of literally everybody
Yeah.
that's listening.
No,
to
Everyone's
this.
like, "What are you guys talking about?" Yeah, let's go get some hoagies at Wawa.
a bunch of breweries.
Drink some water. Yeah,
You
so
said water. You want to
So-
get ice cream with Jimmy's on it?
yeah. Oh God. Jeez, that'd be great. But yeah, so this was made worse because now every state has to
caramel.
really decide between sports betting. And in the world where esports isn't even technically defined as its own thing, like it just falls into an even more gray area.
Yeah.
And there's probably not going to be a lot
You
done
make it
about it.
sound like that this could potentially
It will.
find new life. Like yeah,
It will.
like
I think the gambling aspect of it, but the betting is thriving. In fact,
Right.
like
Yeah.
the betting is trying to legitimize itself
I mean
as
that's
much
what the
as
story
possible.
taught us. If anything, is that like if there's money to be made, people will find a way,
No, yeah, like
and there is money to be made.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
And the betting companies are thriving
Yeah.
right now. They're like, because they're trying to distinguish themselves from the gambling ones, and they're trying to set themselves apart in the way
Right.
that they're like, whoa. Don't fucking bet on a coin flip. Bet it on guessing which team's going to do better. And we're going to legitimize it by saying like Vegas odds.
This is
but
the
like,
snake eating its own tail.
yeah. So thank you, fucking Chris Christie, for that help. We really appreciate it. And
He's done so much.
Lucky
for
that
us.
fat ass sat on a closed beach, or he probably would have been president. So
nah, dude, he fucking closed down a bridge and like killed 3 people too.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. What a fucking
An ass.
fat piece of shit.
And on that note,
On that note,
that wraps up the story
I'd
of
say that's
CSGO betting and gambling.
It wraps up years of when did we start in like 2006 to 2018. Come back to us in a few years.
2012 to
2012.
2018.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure if we're still doing this next year or the year after, we'll have some more to add. to-
yeah, an
I can't wait to
addendum.
record another fucking addendum where they're like, turns out like,
Turns out Phantom Lord now owns the people 33 million.
Phantom Lord owns Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh.
Fair twist of events.
Yeah. He won on a loophole.
yeah, he's governor of New Jersey.
Thank you guys
Actually, I
for
think if you fight Jeff Bezos like straight up, you get Amazon.
That is
I
how
think
it
that's
Yeah.
works.
actually
You
like
do
one
an
of the
American
things.
Gladiator style with
Yeah.
big like giant Q-tips on.
if you're just as mad about these people as I am, I know Phantom Lord's been swatted a few times, and as awful as that is, they're definitely on YouTube.
Federal law. Okay,
So-
well, I can go watch that later.
Yeah, get some kind of sweet justice out of it. But no, thank
As long
you
as he
guys
doesn't have any
for
pets.
for having me.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
being
Yeah,
on, man.
seriously, thank you for joining us. That we would not have been able to cover that.
It's some heavy shit.
Yeah.
There's a guy out there named Bryce Blum who is kind of the leading esports lawyer. So another shout out to him if he's listening to this too.
When are you gonna have that career, an esports lawyer?
Oh God, never. no. This is like the cool talking about the briefings and shit. But like when you get down to it, like. Fuck that. I don't want to have to look at like case law and shit. But yeah, if Bryce Blum, if this somehow reaches you, reach out. This is the time, Chainsaw, will you plug us? Will you plug where you can contact us?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Other Chris, you want to hit us up with some
Yeah, if you want to follow us
plugs?
on social media, Hot Button Cast across the board. And if you want to promote your personal Twitter or anything,
Chris, you got Twitter?
I do not.
No?
I do, but every time I try and log in, I immediately get unauthorized login attempts from Russia. So I think I tried like
So
twice.
you're the one that swung the election.
So
What about
I've
Insta,
used
bruh?
it. Insta, it's Neuteboom, which is
Nice.
my last name. If you can spell
Nice.
that, good luck.
Yeah, I'm Chris I something if you want to find me.
I'm Restart Randy.
Austin Blakesley.
Yeah, so
All
if you wanna
one word,
find us-
lowercase.
And
Good luck spelling that.
and you can listen to this podcast and a bunch of stuff now.
Yeah, obviously you're listening to it already on something. So,
Oh,
but
well,
if you
that's
want
a
to,
good point.
yeah,
If you want to
But
switch
if you wanna-
If you discovered this podcast
Yeah.
and are randomly listening to it or streaming it, you can subscribe to the podcast
There you go.
on iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play, on Stitcher, as well as
Got
if
it
you have
all.
a Podbean account, we have Podbean.
yeah. Also, if you're a psychic, I think we have it blasting in the realm of the undead. So if you can pick up on that, you can also.
I was wondering what
get
that
it.
was
Yeah.
at night.
Can
I'm
you
pretty
hear that?
sure. I'm pretty
Waking up in
sure
cold sweats.
we could get some reviews, some reviews on iTunes.
Yeah,
as
if you
well.
review
That
on
helps a
iTunes,
lot.
that
Yeah.
boosts the
Cool.
position of the show. So.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Check out my
Yeah,
Patreon.
Just smash that like button.
Smash that like
really
button.
helps me out.
Hit that
Really
bell
helps me
icon.
out.
No, and comment down below if anybody has any takes.
What's
If
your
you-
favorite illegal gambling scheme?
Yeah. No, if there's
How do you
any,
feel about loot
if
boxes?
somehow, some way, like a real lawyer who's like past the bar and could practice law and can explain some of this stuff more in depth,
Yeah, DM us, bro.
DM us.
Yeah. And if anybody has any interesting ventures, like CSGO
Yeah.
skin betting websites that you want to get in
Match
with us
true.
about,
Like, great story.
We're looking
pick
at
up
like
some money.
match fixing.
Did
anything.
you get scammed? Let us know.
Next episode, Hop Up brought to you by CSGO skins.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Hell's Angels, MLB, Taco Bell, AOL Time Warner.
And the Catholic Church for when you need to repent. Daddy's there for confessional.
And with that,